Is he pretending that he's never masturbated? I mean, I'm sure he's joking and it's gone over my head because the delivery wasn't as jokey as I was expecting. Don't even pretend, Jeff. Even if one day your hand accidentally landed on it, you went, ooh, what's that? Time in the middle of the board, a-hole here, and it's absolutely lovely and heartwarming, I suppose, to know that a lot of my audience is really interested in masturbation. Because yesterday, Jeff Cavalier, Athlean-X, released a video right here called Masturbation is Killing Your Gains. Obviously kind of ties into the Athlean-X meme. But the amount of messages I got saying, Simon, you got to react to this, you got to talk about it. And I was like, okay, people enjoy fapping and they are massively intrigued to see whether or not it does affect your performance and evolution and progress in the gym. So obviously I know what the video is about. As soon as I saw it, masturbation is killing your gains. It doesn't lead a lot to the imagination, but I deliberately did not watch it because I thought we could do it together. And sure, do I know much about this subject on a scientific level? Only the basics, but again, as always, you can find studies that say yes, you can say studies that say no. Let's see what Jeff is going to say.
You know, I get the feeling of coming all the time with this pump. You know, I feel like I'm coming in the gym, I'm coming at home, I'm coming, you know, backstage before a show.
Okay, so we started with the famous Arnold Schwarzenegger quote from Pumping Iron, and maybe that's going to be his point, that it's killing your gains because you could be getting the equivalent of coming in the gym as opposed to actually coming. But as the internet says, why not do both?
The first thing is, it goes way back in time to the realm of athletics that I operate in, where guys used to be told by their coaches, don't have sex or masturbate or ejaculate or whatever it is before a game because it's going to impair your performance.
We've all heard that one as well. Like, I've heard that. It's boxers that usually say it. I think it was Mike Tyson. I think it may have been Mike Tyson. I don't want to disparage the man who was like, no, I'm going to have sex anyway. I don't give a damn. So, you know, quintessential Mike Tyson. It's like, don't do this, Mike. Well, no, if I want to bang a woman, I'm going to bang a woman. It's like, well, who's going to tell Mike Tyson what to do? But I've heard that. You've heard that. I'm sure we've all heard that. But again, I never actually looked into whether there was any truth in it or not because, well, I wasn't competing on a super duper high level. If I was, maybe I would have done it. I guess there would be some science in the sense that you keep your energy in. That's not science at all. That's like hippie trippy mantra stuff. I have absolutely no idea. I suppose it'd be a trial and error thing, unless Jeff is about to smash out some absolute facts. But, you know, you have a fight and you masturbate beforehand or you have some sex and you're like, okay, great, I won. I don't even know what I'm talking about.
But I think there's been a resurgence of this of late, and it had to do with that whole no-fap movement.
Oh, I tried that. I lasted about 6 hours.
I didn't have any higher expectations for you, Jesse.
6 hours? And I'm sure he's joking, but imagine that was true. I tried no fapping, and 6 hours later, I just fapped. It's like a Seinfeld episode when the guys and they all do it. And it's Kramer. He like lasts 8 minutes or something. Who needs to fap that much?
I'm out.
And the studies are basically saying that after 3 weeks, with just 10 subjects, mind you, that there was a significant increase in testosterone from abstinence of masturbation over this 3-week period. There's been just as many studies that have shown the direct opposite. As is often the case, they say that more masturbation will lead to higher levels of testosterone.
Well, that makes me happy straight away. Not the fact that people are studying other people's masturbation habits, but how many times have I said you can find a study for everything? It's so many times, even I'm bored of it, but it's true. And what most people do when it comes to studies, let's say that you wanted masturbation or not masturbating to help your gains. That's what you type in and you find the study. If you want to find the opposite, you type that in and surprise, surprise, there's a study. And unless we are going to do a study that features every single person on earth, you don't know which of these camps you're going to fall into because there are such things as anomalies. So even if they did test everybody in the world but you and it proved that masturbation actually is killing your gains, you could be the exception to the rule. Never forget that. It doesn't matter what the kind of supplement is or what kind of stuff you're putting in your body. Only you know how it's going to affect you, which is why only ever use studies as somewhat of a guide and make sure you use your own experiences down to in terms of what should and shouldn't do. Even with masturbation, if you really, really want to get one off, do it and then just see what happens. But also do not forget as well, while going to the gym is absolutely awesome, you still have to be having fun in other areas in your life. If anything takes over too much, you are going to be a sad panda.
A perfect example of this is one called SHBG, which is sex hormone binding globulin.
Okay.
Is that a tough one for you?
Yes.
Sex hormone binding globulin. But as what the role of that is to actually bind to that testosterone, which will basically make it less bioavailable. So unable to do anything, even though their levels have increased.
This is why I love Athlean-X and Jeff Cavalier, because nobody talks about this stuff, right? When it comes to hormones and hormone profiles and building muscle, it's just testosterone, 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 testosterone. No one talks about the fact that if you increase your testosterone levels, you're also going to increase the conversion to estrogen and how that may affect you. And no one ever talks about SHBG, which has just been summed up perfectly there. And if you go on the internet right now, you can find threads and threads and threads and forums of people trying to lower their SHBG in order to get their free testosterone levels more available in order to build muscle, not forgetting that you're also allowing other hormones to then run free, again, like estrogen and so on and so forth, which may actually affect you negatively. So it is not just a one-stop shop. It just isn't. It's not, oh, how do I figure out a way to increase my test levels? All of a sudden, look at me, I look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. There's always a counter effect to that. And sometimes you can throw your test levels up as far as you possibly can, but that's not as good for you as being a little bit more balanced with it, because once more, that's what affects your body. And we never, ever, ever get that message thrown out there, especially not from the fitness industry. When have you ever heard the term SHBG unless you've sat down and tried to educate yourself? Which is why I appreciate the fact that Athlean-X always does.
Now, we know anecdotally, let's dive into the anecdotal side of all this. We know that if we've I don't know, I've never partaken in this activity. If we've partaken in this activity...
Is he pretending that he's never masturbated? I mean, I'm sure he's joking and it's gone over my head because the delivery wasn't as jokey as I was expecting. Don't even pretend, Jeff. Even if one day your hand accidentally landed on it, you went, ooh, what's that? You would at least see it to the end, right? You would just see, well, what's going to happen if I tug on it a little bit?
But if you're someone who isn't training at a high enough intensity level right now, and you use masturbation as a way to decrease that level of arousal to bring you down to a more relaxed state.
This is fantastic. If you can't train intense enough to wear yourself out to go to sleep, just crack one out. Well, it is the best. I mean, it's true. I totally agree with everything he's saying. I just didn't think we were going to get there when we sat down with this video. So there you go. If you wanted the justification in order to do it, don't train that hard and then just masturbate and you'll be living the dream.
All right, so answering Albert's question here, no, masturbation is not killing your gains, okay? But it might be something you want to explore, and if you need someone or an expert to consult, Jesse might be the person you want to write to.
Well, what a clickbait title that was, Jeff. And before people go crazy, I'm joking. That's the way you should do it. It's just what YouTube is. Good video, though. I like the fact that you addressed it. I like the fact that you got it out there. It is a question that you get all of the time. And if you want my opinion on it, I think you should just put yourself in a position of happiness and realize that even if you do masturbate, your testosterone levels are going to go down by such a minimum amount, right? It's not like every time that happens, you're all of a sudden going to be some walking untestosterone fiend. It's always the 1-2%. And even if you abstain, you're only going to push it off 1-2%. And even if you do it, you're only going to drop it 1-2%. But ultimately, your body's going to balance out anyway. That's how I see it. I think Athlean-X agrees. And I like the fact he tied it into recovery, because that's a big thing too. That everybody wants to know how intense should I work in the gym and what should I eat, when no one ever thinks about sleep and gets in recovery, because it's really hard in 2021. Because your brain has 1,000 things to worry about, one of which is now whether or not you should grab your penis and give it a tuck, or, you know, do whatever you want to do. And of course, I say penis, but there's the vagina as well, because masturbation works all around. I'm just talking about it, obviously, from my own experiences. So we've done that today. Who the hell knows what tomorrow will bring? Now, please do like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Click the bell, ding, ding, so when other videos about masturbation are going live. There is another video right there. Give it a click. Otherwise, brand new merchandise. I know I've said it. It'll be there really soon, I promise. Simon.bigcartel.com. The Power 13 cookbook is out right now. Use the link in the description. Use the code Simon15 to get 15% off. Patreon.com/Simon316 if you want to support me that way. At Simon316 on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you to everyone that just sent me messages saying masturbation with a link to this. I totally get it. You take care of yourselves. Make sure you smash those lifts, and I'll see you on the next one.